Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. We are going to start this lecture for the students of B.Ed Honors 6th semester. The course title is Reading Difficulties, and our today's topic is what are the habits that hurt your reading speed. So reading is a grave and great problem for most of the students in today's time. It has not been rightly dealt with by the teachers. We have gone through very little books that talk about reading. Though we have gone through novels, we have gone through short stories, we have gone through fiction. But what reading is, what are the parameters of reading, what are the qualities of a good reader, who can be excellent reader, how can we increase our speed, how can we add expressions in reading, how can we be fluent reader. These are some of the questions which need answer. And today the points which I am going to discuss with you will shed light on some of them, and hope that our idea will be clear, that if we are going to avoid these points which we do in our reading, and we are going to hurt our reading speed and hurt our reading excellency. So the very first point, they talk about reading that hurt our reading speed, is reading late night. Most of us think that if any student normally starts reading till late night, he will be the competent reader and competent student. But scientifically and medically, if we are talking about that, if any student who goes to bed early and wakes early, he has a lot of advantage than those who go to bed late and wake up late. Why? Because certain hormones which are going to be released when we sleep till 10 o'clock, 9 to 10 o'clock, they help us in sleeping. And if we lose this time of sleeping, then those hormones which make us wake up, which will wake up, they start releasing. So that's why in the night, Almighty Allah has kept us a lot of blessing. So we should not keep on reading till late night. Why? Because main thing is we lose concentration. So you must make a schedule of night reading. You should not have a prolonged reading at night, so that you may give a lot of concentration to your reading. Whatever you read, you could understand it fully. So you can read. Though if you have made a habit of reading late at night, this is another thing. But occasional readers who go through reading late night, it will affect his reading speed and his reading excellency. So don't read till late night. This was the first point. And second point is, so many students, when they read without purpose. What they are going to do with this reading? We just read. We have nothing to do with it. Suppose if we take the example of some of the sports, I have a bat and ball. So what I have to do with this? Though I just have holding them, or if I have a shuttle and a badminton racket, what will I do with them if I don't start using it? I have a purpose to use them. So when you read, you make a definite and concrete purpose that what will you do with reading. Either you will be a good writer, or you will be a good orator, or you will be a good scholar, or you are going to compose certain books, or you are going to be a poet, or you are going to deliver lectures somewhere, or you are going to be a motivated speaker. So what you are going to be. So make a definite and concrete purpose behind your reading. Otherwise, you are going to hurt your reading, and you are going to hurt your reading speed. Third thing that hurt our reading speed is reading in a wrong environment. Suppose you are going to read in a very warm room which doesn't support you, you don't feel good, you don't enjoy reading, you are sweating. So will you continue your reading in that environment? Definitely you won't. You will close your book. You will stop reading. Same is with cold. If there is enough cold in the season of a winter, you are sitting in an open space, suppose, or you don't have a warm environment in the room, you cannot continue your reading. So you should have a suitable environment for reading that supports your temperament, and this will definitely increase your concentration. The fourth point, which is going to hurt our reading speed, is reading again and again what you just read. You read again and again same thing. You read again and you will definitely lose the charm of reading. Why don't you read different material? Why don't you visit sometime newspaper, Dawn newspaper or Mirror or Regional or The News? Why don't you read magazines? Why don't you read novels? Why don't you read fictitious books? So don't read. If we are going to teach one book to the same student again and again, he will definitely feel boring. So don't read same thing again and again. Find out different material, and you just read. We teachers should read to our students different material. We must quote different books to them, so that they may develop the habit of reading. They will think, they will feel that our teachers visit different books. That's why he is going to quote and name different books to us. And this will ultimately take them to the reading habit, and they will start selecting and picking different books, which will increase their charm of reading. And sometimes we read and we say words in our head. Means sometimes we are reading loudly, or we are moving our lips. Okay, so we are strictly prohibited that don't move even your lips. Just move your eyes, so that you may develop your reading speed. But most of the students have habit of reading loudly. They say we are going to remember it. For some time, this can help them in memorizing the material which they are handling with. In examination, most of the students have habit of reading loudly, and they can't read silently. And someone when interrupts them or enter in their room, their attention is distracted and diverted. They are divided. So when we read, we must read silently, so that we may bring all the attention to the meaning and the comprehension. We may bring all the concentration on the passage we are reading, and in this way we can collect a lot of major and main points from the passage which we are reading. So read not loudly, but read silently, otherwise you are going to hurt your reading speed. Some students, when start reading any book, they don't have habit of reading the main idea first, then detail. And for this we have the strategy of reading skimming. Suppose we read newspaper and we jump in reading, and we are going to pick main idea. What is this article about? And when it wins our interest, then we continue it. Otherwise we don't. So whatever the book you read, or whoever reads any book, he should have this thing in mind, that he should skim it first. If suppose you are going to read book of 6th class, 7th class, 8th class, you allow your students to skim it. What is this all about? What is this topic about? What will we read today? So that they may have already an idea, one base and foundation in their mind, that will we read about it. And their mind will roam, and their mind will wander. And this will create wonder in the class. They will be surprised to see the magic, and they will start taking interest. Because imagination is such powerful thing that allows them to visit world. They create their own castles in the world, in this world. They start thinking, and this thing can make them a great writer and great reader. Otherwise, we cannot make our readers good one. So you must allow your students, and one person individually must think about this thing, that whenever you read something, you must skim it. You must take major ideas and major points from the passage which you are reading. Then start reading all the points, so that you have a clear picture in your mind that what I am going to read. Most of the readers, when read, take a yellow highlighter in his hand. They think that when they highlight something, it means they have understood it. But sometimes this creates misconception. not all the highlighted material is understood, because we have thought that we have highlighted it, so we don't need to give it another reading. Sometime whatever we have highlighted needs an other reading, another go. So don't have misconception that whatever you have highlighted, and sometimes we highlight something, definitely we stop ourselves in giving speed to reading. So don't highlight all the time most of the material. This will stop and hurt your reading speed. You can highlight, but some line or one line in any passage, and that must be very much important. Some of the readers, they hurt their reading speed when they read line by line and word by word. This will hinder their reading speed, so we must not read line by line. We must see line as a whole. We must skip some of the words. We must put our eye on the major words in the line. That if 2 or 3 words are extracted from the line, the meaning is clear. So why you are going to read line by line? Don't read line by line. Keep reading, keep reading, keep reading. When you are developed enough, then look at the line, and this whole line may be sometime considered as phrase, and whole phrase may be considered as one word. When you attain such a speed, then this is possible. If you continue reading line by line, then your reading speed will ultimately hurt. And this is the last point that hurts your reading speed, is reading without limits. Some of the students, they have craze for big exams like CSS and PCS, and they think that when they read continuously for 8 hours or 10 hours, they will create magic, and they will move mountain, and they will produce a lot of results. So this is not so. So many CSS students who have attempted it, they say that in whole day 8 hours are enough with full of concentration, and this will bring a good result. So when you read, you must make some time limit, that I will read 1 hour, and I will have a rest, and I will have a space, and I will have a tea. Okay, I will refresh my memory and refresh my mind. So these are some of the points for students of B.Ed Honors. Course manual is reading difficulties, and per topic was habits that hurt your reading speed. If you avoid all these points and don't apply them, that if you continue to do this, you will definitely hurt your reading speed. So hope you understood this topic. If you have any question, send me in written. I will respond to your questions. Thank you very much. See you again.